what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, I've got a massive stack of Switch games, and you are going to get some information and some gameplay on everything in this pile. Welcome to Top 10 Tuesday. It is a new segment on my show. This is the first ever Top 10 Tuesday. And today, I'm going to give you 10 games that you should try if you're getting a little tired of Animal Crossing. Now, I know I'm not getting sick of it. I could play this forever. I play it every day. But sometimes when I've done all my tasks for the day, I kind of want to play something else. And, you know, maybe you've been playing this for a while and it's made you fall back in love with video games and you want to try something new. I've got 10 games in here that are perfect for you. They're not in any particular order, except for the number one game. It's actually my favorite Switch game of all time, and I don't think anything is gonna dethrone it. I even like it more, gasp, than Animal Crossing. So that one will be very exciting. But what's cool about this top 10 list for everyone is that anytime I mention a game, you might be like, oh, I know some similar games that I think I might like more. I'm gonna explain why I picked the game I did, the pros of the similar games, which are all here, and why the game that I picked might be better for someone who likes Animal Crossing. So it's probably gonna cut away in a second as you're gonna start seeing gameplay of all the games I talk about. Pretty hefty stack right there. Drop a like, definitely subscribe, and let's get right into the list. The first game is gonna be Overcooked 2. So to start out the list, I have Overcooked 2. If you've had your Switch for a while and you've looked up multiplayer games or party type games, you've probably already heard of this one. However, if you've been looking for a game like Mario Party, for example, and you were thinking about maybe going with Mario Party, I would advise against it because Mario Party on the Switch isn't very fun, especially if you're gonna play online. It's very limited what you can do. You don't get to play the board game like you do in past Mario Parties if you're playing online. If you're playing at home with family members or loved ones, that makes the experience a lot better. But even with that, I would still recommend Overcooked 2. It's a really fun game where if you've ever played like one of those games, like either where you run an ice cream shop or a restaurant and you have to like make the food the way the customers like it, it's kind of like that. You don't actually see the customers come in, but you're running around a kitchen and it adds a multiplayer twist to it that makes it really fun. Plus the levels change around, there's other hazards, so it's a lot more fun than those basic kind of games because it has a lot more stuff going on. And honestly, sometimes this game can be even more frustrating with people helping than it is just trying to do it on your own. But either way, it's a very fun experience with others, and it's also very fun and satisfying to just play through it single player. Next is a game that is a genre that I typically never enjoy. It is Splatoon 2. I'm going to explain why this should actually be a game that you choose, in my opinion, over Super Smash Brothers. If it's not your genre, you might be skipping over this, but I want to say, hold up 1 second before you do that, because I have to admit, I just started playing Splatoon 2 for the first time about a week ago, and I've already put in like 20 hours on this game, which isn't a ton, but for 1 week, it kind of is. And the reason why is this game is really fun and charming and addicting. And as soon as I started playing it, even though I didn't think it would be for me, I saw that, you know, this is a Nintendo quality game through and through. And I've been having a ton of fun with it. I just started doing the single player campaign. There's a huge campaign that you can complete in single player. But what was so fun is just doing the online matches. I just started hopping in, doing online matches, had no idea what I was doing, and had a great time. It's really cool because when you start, the online matches that you do at the beginning are turf wars. And basically you get put on this map, you get 3 teammates, and then you and your 3 teammates go against 4 random players, and you just try to paint the map with as much as your color as possible. It doesn't matter how many people you shoot or kill or whatever. I always had terrible aim. What's also cool about Splatoon 2 is that you actually can move the Switch when you're holding it to help you aim, and that helped me a ton. But like I said, even if you completely stink at that kind of thing, it's still really fun because as long as you are painting, enough turf, you're still helping your team. So again, if the multiplayer is really your thing, Splatoon 2 is definitely worth giving a try. It's worth it. Check it out. Next up on the list, let's get the really obvious one out of the way. This is the last of the multiplayer-based games, Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8. I've honestly never met anyone that doesn't have fun playing Mario Kart. If you don't, let me know in the comments. If you can honestly say that with a group of a few friends playing Mario Kart that you don't have fun, I don't know what to tell you. It's a great time, and I included this on the list because this is another game where if you play video games all the time, you'll have a blast, but if you don't play video games at all and you're not very good at video games, you're still gonna have fun. And I know that Animal Crossing encompasses hardcore players and casual players. So that's what I tried to include with this list. Mario Kart 8 definitely fits the bill. Fun time through and through, online, local, and even if you just want to do single player and try to get gold trophies on all the tracks, then try the next difficulty up, which is like the next CCs. It's a game that's going to last you hundreds of hours, just like Animal Crossing. Next up on the list is going to be Ni no Kuni. I'll talk about why this is a better choice than some other turn-based RPGs. If you like the gameplay of past Pokemon games, you're going to feel right at home here. It's going to be that addicting turn-based combat. However, why I think this is a great game for Animal Crossing is because it has a beautiful story. The story and the animation was done by Studio Ghibli. Yes, it's pronounced Ghibli, not Ghibli, I know. The story made me cry within the first 10 minutes. It's one of those things. It's like Up all over again. Studio Ghibli is basically the Disney of Japan. And Animal Crossing, well, it's an amazing game and can actually, really hit you emotionally a lot of times too. Sometimes villagers just say things that really hit you in the feels. It doesn't have a story really, or at least a deep story, and this game does. And if you've been playing Animal Crossing a lot, you might be craving that a little bit. If RPGs are your thing, I would definitely recommend this. If they're not your thing, I would recommend this over any other RPG if you're thinking about getting into the genre. This game originally came out on the PS3 over 10 years ago. Now it's on the Switch, and it's just the perfect Switch game. It's so beautiful. It's so engaging. It is a long game, however, so keep that in mind. So it's going to take a lot of commitment to complete this. Next is a game you can actually pick up for really cheap on the eShop, and you can beat it in a day if you want, but because of the story, Animal Crossing fans will really like it. This is Donut County, and I want to give a mention to Katamari Damacy Reroll. Next, we have kind of the opposite in terms of commitment, because this is a game that you can probably beat in a day. And my girlfriend, who does not play games nearly as much as I do, actually did buy this and beat the game in a day, the day she bought it, and that is Donut County. This is really simple gameplay where basically you go around, you control like a hole in the ground, and as you swallow things up, you make the hole bigger, and you basically try to consume as much as possible. So really simple gameplay, anyone can pick it up, but it's really engaging. And again, I had to recommend this to Animal Crossing fans because not only is the gameplay simple, relaxing, and enjoyable, but the story is so cute. You have all these little critters, they say the funniest things, and that's what shocked my girlfriend when she played it, is she didn't expect to be so engaged in the story, and she had to finish it. It didn't take her like an hour or two. I mean, it took her like 6 to 8 hours, but she had to finish it because she was so invested in the story. Next up is Golf Story, which is another cheap pickup on the eShop. And I chose this game because it's kind of like that, role-playing type game, but you don't have to invest as much in it as you do with something like Ni no Kuni. It's got these cute pixel art graphics, and you don't have to like golf at all whatsoever, I don't, to really enjoy this game. The golf games in it are more just like mini games that are fun, stuff that people that play Animal Crossing would definitely like, stuff that all gamers would like. This game is really highly rated and well regarded in the community, plus it's cheap. This was actually one of the very first games I got for Switch because it was a Switch exclusive and I had been dying to play it for so long, so I finally got my Switch. I had to play this. And I beat it in about a week or two. I was in the hospital when I beat it, and it was really a great time for me, so I can't recommend this game enough. It's a really enjoyable game. Next up is another game that I recommend getting digitally. It's The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. And I'll give an honorable mention to Dead Cells as well. The next game on the list is The Binding of Isaac. And looking at this, you might not think that you would like it, because it can be a little creepy style, but I also think Isaac is really, really cute. He's a baby that basically gets put down in this secret trap room in a basement when his mother is told by God to kill him with a knife. Yeah, it's a little messed up. But all you have to worry about is just shooting the enemies that appear on screen. And this is another game where my girlfriend, who's a casual gamer, has put hundreds of hours into this game. This is one of the only video games she would play for a really long time because she just stumbled upon it one day and got like addicted to it. So she actually would play this even on my PlayStation Vita. You can believe that. So it was one of the first Switch games she got as well. And why it's fun is because even if you're not good, it's random what power-ups and special weapons you get on every floor. It's randomly generated. So every time you beat a floor and get further than you did before, you feel really accomplished. And it's a game where you die a lot, but you're supposed to. And you'll have runs where you get power-ups that are really weak and you die early. And then you'll go through it, and 5 minutes later, you'll be further than you've ever gotten, and you'll have all these really cool power-ups, and you can end up beating the game just because of the luck of the draw. Now, this next one's gonna be controversial. Not the pick itself, which is Super Mario Maker 2. If you don't know a lot about this one, you're gonna wanna really pay attention to why this is the one that you should get over Super Mario Odyssey, Yoshi's Crafted World, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You should get Super Mario Maker 2 over all of these. Even if you never want to build a level and you only care about games that have a story, whatever, you think one of these looks better, you should get Super Mario Maker 2, and I'll tell you why. Super Mario Maker 2, it has a story mode where you're building up a castle by beating these levels and helping Peach and the Toads complete the castle. So if you're worried that like you wanted a game with a story mode, Super Mario Maker 2 has it. It's not crazy, but it's fun and it's engaging. And then just because there's so much to do online in Animal Crossing, I didn't want to recommend a game where you have basically nothing to do online. And pretty much all those other games that I listed really are lacking in online, especially compared to Mario Maker 2. Now, obviously, with the building aspect of Animal Crossing, that is a really cool thing in Mario Maker. You can build your own Mario levels. But I'll tell you this right now, 99% of people that love Mario Maker 2 never build a level. Okay, so you don't have to worry about building levels. It's not that kind of game. I can't stress that enough. What's so cool is you get to play other people's levels that are awesome. So like in Animal Crossing, when you see other people's islands and you're so jealous, imagine like being able to see those islands and then just being able to have them. That is what Mario Maker 2 is. So hopefully that explains it really well, like the appeal. If you like Super Mario 64 on the N64, or Super Mario Sunshine, or Super Mario Galaxy on the GameCube and the Wii, then definitely give Super Mario Odyssey a try. You won't be disappointed at all. Odyssey, if you want like a 3D, and if you want like a 2D, definitely Mario Maker 2. My next recommendation is going to be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. And there's a reason why I put this ahead of the main Pokemon game, Sword and Shield, and ahead of Let's Go. Although honestly, any of these games would be great for an Animal Crossing fan. I chose Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because of how cute it is and the art style. I live streamed this entire game in 2 days, right when it came out. I just did it back to back. Cranked it out. It's still on my channel. Then I made a massive review for it that is one of the things I'm most proud of on this channel, and unfortunately got the lowest amount of views, but I still am so proud of that review I did. The reason I did all that, I had never played this game before, even though it's a remake of a DS and Game Boy Advance game.
The story is beautiful. The Pokemon characters have so much heart, especially your partner Pokemon. I chose Squirtle, and to this day, I think of Squirtle as like a true friend. And it reminded me of the relationships you build with your villagers in Animal Crossing. That's why Mystery Dungeon, hands down, has to be what I recommend. If you've ever played a regular Pokemon game in your life, Sword and Shield will give you that experience. If that's what you're looking for, that's really fun too. The battle system is kind of turn-based, but it's like on a grid and it's like action-based. It's not on a grid in the way that Fire Emblem is. It's kind of like that, but everything moves in real time, so it goes really fast. Battle system, to be honest, not my favorite, but it's still fun, and the story's so good that it makes you want to really see this thing out to the end. But Pokemon Mystery Dungeon gave me a story that I've been waiting for the mainline games to give me all my life. I didn't realize that these Mystery Dungeon games had such great stories, so that's why it's the way to go if you are playing Animal Crossing and you like that connection with your villagers.
Next up, I'm going to have a few honorable mentions before I tell you guys my favorite Switch game of all time. So I'll talk about them a little bit. Tetris 99, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Breath of the Wild, and since Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is coming out, I've played that on the Wii, so I'll talk about that, and also Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and its sequel, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna the Golden Country.
Tetris, if you're playing Animal Crossing, you probably have Nintendo Switch Online, and if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you already have Tetris 99. Super fun game. If you are familiar with like Fortnite, the Battle Royale genre, it's that, but Tetris. And everyone thought it was going to be really weird and just not work when it came out, and it ended up being awesome. It's just like playing Tetris, but it's interactive because there's 100 other people playing with you. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I didn't put either one of them on the list because honestly, Breath of the Wild can be really, really intimidating, and even someone who loves the series, it took me a long time to come around to Breath of the Wild, even though everyone says it's so great. For me, it took a long time of playing that game before I actually uncovered what was so magical about it. It felt big and empty to me for a long time. So I can't recommend that someone who's been playing a game like Animal Crossing. And Link's Awakening, yeah, it's a cute game. It's a great game in its own right. It's just not something I would, again, recommend to someone that's playing Animal Crossing. I mean, I do recommend those two games. It's why they get honorable mentions. But I feel like the other games on the list might be better for most people who are, just looking for a break from Animal Crossing for a bit. The last honorable mention is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And that's because it's coming out right before this video releases. I haven't played the Switch version yet, but I played the Wii version. It's a fantastic game, but it is the most in-depth, complicated, and long game on this list. So that's why I couldn't really recommend it. It's one of my favorite games for sure. It's probably one of my favorite Wii games, top 3. But it's a 100 to 200 hour game easy. And it's not like a 100 hours Animal Crossing where you're just like doing small stuff, having a blast, and you don't even know where the time goes. It's 100 to 200 hours just to get through the story.
Time for my favorite game of all time. Better than Animal Crossing. I promise you, give it a chance, you'll love it. Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's a million times better than Dragon Quest Builders, and in my opinion, much better than Dragon Quest 11. I said it.
If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you already know this is my favorite game. I actually haven't done a lot of content on it. And let me just tell you right now, if you think this is like a Minecraft type game, you have no idea what this game is. I have to confess, I don't like Minecraft. It's not my thing. It's just not engaging for me. This is something totally different. Imagine Animal Crossing, but you could completely build your house brick by brick how you want it. You can do that in the game, or you never have to worry about building anything ever. You just follow the story. It gives you blueprints to make along the way, but it's fun. It's an actual story, unlike Minecraft and unlike Animal Crossing. And it's actually an action RPG game, kind of like Zelda, while being this building you know, life sim like Animal Crossing at the same time. It's just got so many cool things all jammed into one. The first game, the original Dragon Quest Builders, I wouldn't recommend that one, and I wouldn't recommend starting with that one. It's slow. It takes a long time. The best part of the game is the last chapter, which takes like 40 hours to get to. But I noticed in Dragon Quest Builders, the first one, it got better and better as it went on, and Dragon Quest Builders 2 keeps getting better and better, and now it's finally an amazing game. I never thought I would do building stuff just for fun. You should see my island and yes, you do get an island where you can build whatever you want in Dragon Quest Builders 2, and you can recruit villagers to live there, just like in Animal Crossing, except you can make things that are so incredible, like all the islands you're super jealous of. You can make those in Dragon Quest Builders, and it's not as intimidating or challenging as Animal Crossing, and it's so fun. The town that I built on my island just feels so alive, and all the towns you help rebuild in the story feel so alive. All the characters are so alive. It just feels amazing to play this game. I can't gush about it enough. I can't say enough good things about it. It's my favorite Dragon Quest game of all time, and that includes mainline, and that's why I think it's better than Dragon Quest XI. I swear anyone that loves Animal Crossing would adore this game, but people just haven't played it, haven't tried it, and it's a shame because it's a really, really beautiful game.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I have a lot of games to put back on my shelf now, but I hope you got some use on it. So please feel free to drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.